Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about mamahood, the 3 things that I've learned thus far. If you'd like to hear more, let's get started. All right, so yes, mamahood. I've been on this journey for 6.5, almost 7 years, and I wouldn't say I've got it all figured out. I'm not going to say that I have mastered it or I'm on the top of the hill. No, I think I'm just scratching the surface. But there's some things that I remember in my early years that I wish somebody would have said to me, or if I would have been able to click on a video and someone would have sat down with me and just been like, hey, it's okay, calm down, we've got this. And so I expressed when I first started this channel that mamahood oftentimes can feel lonely. And with that, I wanted to sit down with you guys and shake it up a bit, because this channel is not just homeschool. It is going to be covering all the things that I am pivoting in at this season, which is mamahood, wifehood, and homeschool and wellness and all the things. And so I wanted to kind of do like a check-in, shake things up a little bit. So I wrote 3 things down as I was thinking about it, because there's so many things I can remember when I first became a mom. I was 24 and a half years old and wasn't necessarily a part of my plan. I wasn't the person that had the laundry list of things I wanted to complete in the mommy wifehood category, but God is still good. And so I wanted to share these with you guys, just for those who may be early moms, maybe already have a few kids and maybe need that little reminder, because with the ever-growing season and growing season that we're in as moms, it's like with things that are more and more polarized and shown, we can get a little lost in everything. So the first one I have here that I wrote down was mamahood is a moment by moment and planting season. And what do I mean by that? So I feel like when I was first starting out, I automatically thought I needed to have like all the books. I mean, there's so many books on just what do we do when we're about to give birth to a child. Then there's parenthood that can be written and identified for some people, but even for a brown girl, black girl like myself, it wasn't, this isn't a conversation that happens very often. And so I would feel like I was overwhelmed and I was really in my own, like, I was kind of by myself and lonely and like didn't know how to express how I was feeling or how to share with people that like this has rocked my world and changed me, and it's come with the best gifts, but I truly am not like, I don't have it all figured out, nor do I know what I'm doing, or am I doing okay? Because oftentimes we have family members and friends who love to give unsolicited advice of what worked for them, but it's almost like they forgot what it was like to be a mom and in those early stages. And so, or they had that support or they had that community. And that necessarily was not my case. I am still one of the only people in my core group that is a mom. Of people, when I say core group, like core people that I've known for the longest in my life, that I would say are my friends or things like that. It's truly like I don't have this vast community, which is part of also the reason why I started this channel, was to kind of build some relationships with other moms. And now God has really just been blessing me tenfold with this channel and with friends in my own like connect groups and Bible time, getting to know people on a deeper level, which is what I'm all about. And so when I was saying like moment to moment planting season, is that right when you think you've got it, like each thing that we're going through when it comes to raising our child, giving them the best health benefits, learning environments and space and being present and all those things, it's a planning season. So we plant those seeds that we want, right? And some things are going to grow and blossom and they're going to continue to go in our lives. but there's some moments that that seed is just not going to take root, and maybe it wasn't supposed to. We just planted it just because we were thinking it might be the crop we need in this season. So I want to encourage you mamas that, like, even in this new homeschooling space, if you're choosing to do it, like, this is a planning season. You taking that seed and saying, I'm going to homeschool my child. I'm going to take the time to have a learning space, and I'm going to take the reins on the education and the knowledge and the learning power that's going to be given to my children. Know that you're going to plant some things right now that maybe in 6 months or a year from now, you might be like, that didn't work for us. And that's okay. Just breathe and recognize it and say, oh, we can cut that. We can prune that. Let's just stick to what works for us. This is what's working. We'll continue here. Or scratch the whole playing field, redo the soil, replant some plants and replant some seeds and start over. So that was my first one. My second one is mamahood is individual. It's not necessarily independent, and it's not necessarily supposed to be alone. I do believe in community and support, and I want to keep cultivating that type of behavior and that type of need, because it really is needed in our community as moms, from moms who are seasoned and their kids are already at the house or they're almost there, to moms who are literally, you are in the present moment of getting ready to give birth to your child for the first time or multiple times. It's individual. Like, we are not supposed to all be one like each other. Even in this space of having YouTube, I've seen so many different moms of every different background sharing what works for them. Maybe they use the same curriculum, but it's different, or what works for them and how they teach their children, or they interact with their children. Like, you're not supposed to become like other people. If anything, yes, you can pick the things that you're like, hey, I really like the words that person used, or I like maybe the system at play, like how they kind of go about their day with their schedule. But at the end of the day, you were designed to be the best mom for your children, whatever that looks like. And so oftentimes we can be scrolling, we can be watching, and taking notes, but oftentimes we have to just be careful to check in with ourselves. Like, are we being our true self, or are we trying to be another mama that we see? And so I've had to do this in my journey. You know, in the beginning, it was like, oh, am I using the right stroller? Am I getting the right jogging stroller? Am I getting the right, like, if I'm going to nurse, am I have the right pump that works for me? Or is my child in the perfect color-coded outfit because that's what's trending right now? And no, you know what I mean? Like, you've got to work with what works for your budget, what's got to work for your baby. If they're warm, they're comfort, they're healthy, they're breathing, it works for you. Now, whether that person can afford a higher budget and a higher ending of disposable income for that, that's on them. But not living in this comparison is just such a thief of joy. And so I see it in so many facets, from just being pregnant to your child's in school, or how you're doing, what activities they're in. And so mamahood is individual. What fills in your heart, what God has placed in your heart to give to your children, and what he stirs in you and gives you correction and builds you up and prunes you and then puts you back together, and all the things that is meant for you. So do not get lost. And sometimes we've got to do that. Maybe we've got to take a second and say, reset. Am I being true to myself? Is the things that I'm doing, is it best for me and my children? And pray and ask God, what is that? Reveal that to me. So yeah, I wanted to share that. And then the third one, you cannot bring anyone and everyone to the party. That was probably the biggest shift. I'm trying to get my words together. It was the most eye-opening, mind-blowing revelation that God gave me after probably, it was 5 years. Like, my daughter was 5 by then, and she's almost 7. So this is very recent, but it was truly something I needed to learn. I was that girl that I'm an only child. I didn't have any siblings. I have cousins, but I didn't have a person that was with me all the time. And that was something I craved. I craved sisterhood very much. And so God, works in wonderful ways when he gives me 2 girls, and now they get to have that. And I get to look at that and grow that and watch that from where I'm at. But truly, I wanted everyone to join the party. Like, I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to go through certain seasons and certain growing periods alone. And I think I've learned to embrace the times when God is like, no, just be with me and ask me the questions and press into what I have for you. And then I also have enjoyed that, like, I'm not supposed to have, maybe in this time or in that season, I'm not supposed to have these large group of mommy friends. Like, I've seen them. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm growing one at currently, but I've gone through the last 5 years. I was consistently craving somebody to relate to. And so I was trying to bring everyone to the party. People who didn't even have kids, weren't married, or they got married, but they still don't know that journey. They don't know that struggle. They don't know the highs and lows in which you go through. And I also went through a season of like friends just kind of disappearing, because it's like, it doesn't fit their narrative. They kind of forget about you, even though you're going through a different season in life. But I recognize that I'm not supposed to bring them. This party is supposed to be God, my husband, me, my kids. And if he brings people in my life, that is like the extra blessing and grace. But my life is not dependent on having those friendships, having those communities. And so learning that was, it was like somebody took away my toy when I was little, because I just wanted to be around people, and I wanted to have these enriching conversations, and all of that is good, but I was doing it in an unhealthy way of like, I don't know who I am without these friends. I don't know who I am without this community or these people that I used to mingle with, because we had similarities in that season, but that season is not now. And I guess a bonus one would say is that, like, I don't need to be more consumed with what my peers are doing than what my children are doing or what I am doing as a mom. Like, mamahood is vast and it's beautiful for what it's supposed to be. And I think it's great if you can get plugged in a small community of moms who are pouring into you and you're pouring into them. So that's important too, of like, what is the relationships in which you are cultivating. And so yeah, that was my little chat. I wanted to do a little chit chat with you guys on mamahood, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, leave it in the comments below. Give me some thoughts and tips on what's worked for you, what you've learned in these years over time as being a mom. Give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and until I see you on the next video, bye.